Good evening, everybody. Hola, amigos. This is Carlos Montero from Doha, Qatar. We are in Qatar, a cultural village, a beautiful place to visit when there is no football here in the World Cup. Let's start, like we always do, with the headlines. Last day before the Final Four, teams look for their place in the final. Football fever is an opportunity for big economic growth, even for the countries who did not participate. Today we visit Qatar, a culture village, a project for art and culture exchange. You can see the beautiful, colorful fountains behind me. It's something really amazing here in Qatar culture. Charlie is going to show us everything later in the program. But let's talk about what's happened today. Today, the Argentine team offers a press conference. Tomorrow is going to be the first semifinals against Croatia. They said they feel confident. Croatia too feels confidence. But let's see. Let's do what's going on here today in Qatar, Doha. The calm before the storm. There are only 4 teams left in Qatar 2022, and tomorrow the first finalists will be decided. Croatia has already ended the dream of Brazil's Neymar, and now Messi's Argentina is their next target. We don't have a specific plan yet for stopping Messi, Croatia striker Bruno Petrovic told a news conference. Croatia are bidding to make it to the final for the second World Cup in a row after losing in the 2018 showcase match to France, but the Latin American team is the favorite to win the game. On Wednesday, Morocco will face France for another place in the final. This is almost over, my friends. You have to know today about the World Cup 2022. Charlie Montero has the information.
FIFA presented Al Him, the official match ball of the FIFA World Cup quarterfinals. The design is set on a textured gold base color, which features subtle triangular pattern, drawing inspiration from sparkling deserts of the region that surrounded the city of Doha, the color of the World Cup trophy, and the pattern of the Qatar flag. French President Emmanuel Macron will visit Qatar to attend the World Cup semi-finals between France and Morocco on Wednesday. The Spanish League has the most amount of players in the World Cup semi-final, with 22 players. The Premier League has 16, and Serie A and League One both have 14. Messi is the player with the most fouls received in Qatar 2022 World Cup, with a total of 16. Qatari Press Center and Qatar News Agency organized on Sunday a panel discussing the unfair view of Western media towards Qatar's organization of the World Cup. The roundtable aimed primarily at ways to address the coverage of the state of Qatar by Western media.
In tomorrow's first semi-finals, they're going to face each other, 2 of the most important football players of this era. Luka Modric, Leo Messi. They know each other, they respect each other. What's going to be the strategy of each team? Let's see.
The first time these 2 magicians of football met on the international stage was in 2006 in a friendly game. Croatia went on to win that game 3-2, despite Messi getting on the score sheet inside the first 10 minutes. Their next meeting for their respective nation was that group stage match at the 2018 World Cup with Modric scoring. Now, In the semifinals of the FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022, it will be one chance for the duo to captain their country to a final, where only one of these greats will get the chance to rectify past heartbreaks. In 2014, Messi was named the best player of the World Cup and lost the final. 4 years later, Luka Modric received the same fate. This time, only one of them could take his revenge, or not. What is important is that we will be witnesses of another battle between two magicians of the ball that share the acronym LM in their names and the 10 on their backs.
There are only 4 more matches and the World Cup Qatar 2022 is going to be over. We are going to go all of us home. This was the first World Cup in a Muslim country, in the Arabic world. What was the balance? Let's go and see.
Qatar became the first host that lost every game in the group stage. Also, Ener Valencia became the greatest player of Ecuador with 6 goals in this kind of tournament. Cristiano Ronaldo became the first player to score in 5 different editions of the World Cup. On the other hand, Neymar and Harry Kane drew with Pelé and Wayne Rooney as the top scorers of their countries. Regarding goals, Olivier Giroud surpassed Thierry Henry as the top scorer of the France national team. In the same line, Lionel Messi drew with Gabriel Batistuta as the top scorer of Argentina in World Cups with 10.
We are here in the Qatar Cultural Village, a really fantastic place. Charlie has the chance to come this afternoon, walk around and prepare the story.
A cultural place without limits or borders. This is what Qatar Cultural Village aspires to be. This enclave was space for the 107 nationalities and 38 communities that coexist in Doha. A huge gift box covered in red wrapping paper welcomes visitors and marks the beginning of a tour with bilingual signs to guide citizens, residents, and tourists through the epicenter of Qatar's multiculturalism.
Qatar diversity is a key. We have, it depends which direction you want to look at it. If you going to ask a question about the culture itself, then it is very widely diversified. We do, first of all, as an organization, we have almost every venue for any type and any level of the activities to take place. If you look at the type of the activities, then all are here. Art, music, singing, production, you name it, all are here in same spot. And if you look at the language, then the door is open for 127 languages whom they are in Doha, and those who are not in Doha, still they are welcome.
Exploring its winding streets and squares allows you to admire architectural styles with different civilizations mixed with local culture. The vocabulary of these walls speaks diverse symbols, shapes, art and unity and harmony. Its amphitheater, for example, is inspired by the concept of a classical Greek theater with a mixture of Islamic architecture.
Everybody, any culture from anywhere in the world come to Qatar. And from here we pass the message to the others. And the message that we have here is that we can all live together. We need to understand each other. We need to respect each other. We need to learn from each other. We need to support each other. And that's where the Qatar was developed and built to achieve this particular goal in Qatar. Well, Qatari people, just to have the national living among such a large number of nationalities, that by itself is an achievement. And for them to understand and to exchange the knowledge between one and the other by respecting each other, by dealing with each other is a big deal. Now, if we go to Latin America, of course, is a very special part of the world to us. In this World Cup, we have Argentina, we have Brazil, we have Mexico, Cuba. You are here representing other countries like Venezuela and other countries. The point is what? The point is, once we say the 127 countries, they're all here. And if they're all here, Of course, the dealing will be on the food, on the clothes, on the style of life, on how do we deal human to human.
Later we are going to show you more about this beautiful place, but now let's do a short break. But before the break, let's challenge you to see how much you know about football. The trivia of the day has to do with tomorrow's match. Tomorrow they are playing Argentina against Croatia. And the question is, when was the last time that Argentina faced Croatia? We will give you the answer later in the show. I give you a clue. It was not long ago and it was very painful. I was there. We do a short break. We'll be right back. This is From the Field. You can follow us on social media. This is Carlos Montero from the field. Rodri De Paul is going to be starter tomorrow in the game Argentina against Croatia. But let's talk about economics. So far, this World Cup 2022 was a successful, and in economic, football, talking about sportly and about economic. But this is going to help a lot the Chinese market. Why Qatar success economically is going to success in China too? Let's see that story.
In Chinese cities such as Yiwu, local companies have recorded an increase in orders from some football-themed products, mainly t-shirts, which has meant a high level of sales through digital platforms since the start of the event, with those of the Brazil, France and England selections being very popular. In this region, some of the companies have experienced a turnover that represents double or triple their usual numbers.
Usually, more than 10 jerseys will be ordered in one single order, and there are also orders with more than 100 jerseys. Our turnover recently has exceeded 600,000 yuan, twice to three times the usual.
Another product that continues to increase its sales level is soccer balls, which have also been in great demand, causing a further growth in production with higher specialization in terms of designs, personalized items, and categories of balls that are requested from various places both inside and outside China, also generating an increment in exports.
We have been seeking for more proper supply chains, and we can even provide customized design of footballs.
Who is going to take the World Cup on Sunday? Croatia, Argentina, Morocco, France? I would like your opinion on social media. Whoever take the World Cup, they are going to take with them a story that's behind that important trophy. Let's see the story.
The passion for football in the South American giant has taken root in fans like Jarbas Carlini, a 54-year-old Brazilian who has found a way to materialize his love for soccer by making replicas of the trophy known around the world, giving him the chance to connect with other fans as well as with players like Ronaldo, Ronaldinho and Neymar, who own some of his works.
I make them in Campo Grande for the whole world. I have shipped many cups overseas to England, France and Portugal, and even China.
Carlini began his work after the 1994 World Cup, looking for a way to make his dream of holding his own cup come true and somehow have it at home. He has made around 600 copies and his fame continues to grow in social networks.
I feel a lot of emotion knowing that my trophies travel all around the world. You establish a link with the people that bought my trophies. I'm sure that they also feel the same passion. They are not buying a trophy, they are buying the same passion that I feel.
This is how the adrenaline of the World Cup is felt among Brazilians, who remain loyal to their national team and yearn for a sixth World Cup for the Canarinha, despite the defeat against Croatia in Qatar 2022.
Let's go back now again with Charlie, who has more about this beautiful place, cultural center.
Going beyond the geographical borders of Doha, Qatar public diplomacy ensures that the culture of the 127 flagged embassies in this Arab nation is present through its art, forums, and exhibitions.
But let me give you an example of what has happened in the World Cup. Honestly speaking, people from Latin America has shown that they are the buzz of the World Cup, really are. They're the one who brought a life to the World Cup. They're the one who made the place really, really active. You know, noise was there. And the experience that we had from Latin American was fantastic, honestly, fantastic. People are friendly, people are down to earth, people came here to support, to enjoy sport, respectful people. So what do you do with this type of people but to respect them and give them anything and everything? They go for it.
The main street, Qatar High Street, combines a powerful outdoor cooling system with Murano glass lamps as a prelude to theaters, concert halls, exhibition galleries, and cutting-edge installations. A cultural sector accompanied with commercial sector contributes to the financial stability of the project.
Media in particular, some media try to twist things here and there. But honestly speaking, we've seen no negative from Latin American media. It has been really, really grateful to see what have they done. How do they look at this event? How do they foreseen it? How do they come here to support this event? And that's what is it. So when we look at the media, we cannot really judge people. There are individuals here and there who want to say their own, and some others who's got their own agenda. But that is not something that we can generalize it. Majority of them, almost 90-95% of the media are delivering an excellent job, just like yourself.
There's public art all over Doha, but the pieces reserved for the Qatar Cultural Village include surprises like Gandhi's Three Monkeys by Indian artist Subdoa Gupta. Each piece is composed of cooking instruments, used pails, and traditional Indian lunchboxes. Together, they recall Gandhi's famous visual metaphor, the three wise monkeys that represent see no evil, hear no evil, and speak no evil.
Well, they're the key. Next generation is the key. And youth always are the most important part of any community. Countries living here in Qatar and being among the nationalities, I think they are quite qualified, if not they are very qualified, to really coordinate, to really live, to really respect each other. And when I see it, for example, when I see the students or youngsters in the university, in the shopping area, in the entertainment area, in the wherever the public area is, when you see them there standing, respecting, appreciating, listening to each other, you see we're okay. Everything is good. So we go back to your question about what do you think of media? People could say what they want to say, you know, and you need to be really giving people a chance for them to address their view, to express their view. At the end of the day, this is what they think. Now, coming here to Doha, we have experienced, and I hope you did as well, we've experienced, it's not like that. The media has changed it to look that shape. People are people. If you come down to earth, if you sit, if you respect, if you listen, then they're wonderful, regardless of where they came from. Even from those countries whom they sit and criticize. Today they're saying, that's not real. Our media is not telling the truth.
Okay, let's do a short break, but before to the break, let's remember you can follow us on social media at From the Field, at C. Montero Oficial, C. TeleSUR English. We'll be right back with more here from the field.
This is Carlos Montero from the field. In that beautiful place, there is a really powerful museum about football. It was prepared for this World Cup. Charlie Montero was there, and that's his story.
Thank you, Carlos. Today we have a special treat for football lovers around the world. We are in the Football Fine Art and Collectibles Edition exhibition here in Qatar Village. Let's take a look at the beautiful jerseys they have around here. The football exhibition located in Qatar Village highlights important historical moments in the world of football in Qatar and the world through works of art, photographs, and historical collectibles related to the world of football. It is divided into 3 halls, the first displaying 25 photos from 5 Arab countries who participated in the FIFA Arab Qatar 2021 Cup. The second hall displays drawings of the most important moments in the history of Qatari football. And the third hall displays sports gear belonging to previous World Cup versions, which are jerseys worn by players in previous World Cup tournaments, old publications that cover the World Cup and previous tournaments, as well as medals, footballs, and tickets. If you are needing an extra dose of football here in Qatar, this place is a must visit.
Beautiful museum. Jamaica is another national team that's going to have a big chance to play in the next World Cup when they from 32 they go to 48 teams. Jamaica already played once a World Cup, but he's ready for the second one. Let's see their story about football.
Football is one of the most popular sports in Jamaica, along with athletics and cricket. Available records indicate that soccer was introduced in Jamaica in the late 19th century, but 1893 is listed as the year Jamaica formed its first soccer club. Jamaica made its first international appearance against its Caribbean neighbors, Haiti, in 1925 in a 3-match series. Its affiliation with FIFA was in 1962, a year before it joined the corresponding federation according to its geographical zone, CONCACAF. One of the biggest successes of the Jamaica men's national team came with the team qualified for the 1998 FIFA World Cup in France. They didn't make it past the first round, but they did. They didn't make it past the first round, but they managed to win their last group stage game against Japan by 2 goals, and in their zone they have won the Caribbean Cup 5 times. Only 4 teams from the Caribbean have qualified for the Men's World Cup: Cuba in 1938, Haiti in 1974, Jamaica in 1998, and Trinidad Tobago in 2006. In the Caribbean, Jamaica is the team with the second most Caribbean Cup championships, with 6 titles, behind only Trinidad and Tobago, which has 8 trophies. The Reggae Boys have a long list of players who could have represented because they were born or have Jamaican roots.
Let's see how many of you know the trivia of the day. The question is, when was the last time that Argentina faced Croatia? If you said it was in the last World Cup 2018 and Croatia won 3-0, you were right.
The 21st of June of 2018, during the group stage of the FIFA World Cup celebrated in Russia, Croatia beat Argentina 3-0 in a marvelous game from the Croatians led by Luka Modric. Current runner-up showed that night that they were a candidate to beat things in that tournament, and the sub-championship proved 1 month later. This time, Leo Messi and company will have to face a renovated Croatia, but that maintained the backbone of the team.
Now let's see how you've been completing the sentence. A Moroccan performance at the Qatar 2022 World Cup has been a Yolanda Africa big surprise, Del Goleado, worst of the final, Sandra Moreno amazing, Sean Jairo Boteros, de Mahoma, Alamio. Thank you very much for participating. See you all tomorrow. We have semi-finals Hasta mañana, amigos. We'll be back here from the field.